What's going on, everybody?
Hey! Hi.
What do you know? It's the winter eve solstice, and it's rainy and horrible and dreary, and there are a lot of you here, and I'm kind of blown away. Thank you. Thank you. I know a lot of you came from Nashville, and when me and my dad were talking about coming out here, my mom came up and said, you know, it's going to take like 2.5 hours. And I was like, oh my God, they're so old. It's not going to take 2.5 hours. It took 2.5 hours. So it's a very good thing that we left when we did. Very excited to share this with you. So this is the book that I wrote. And central to this book are 5 what we call father story poems. All right. And what this means is, I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, in Sylvan Park, and if you know Sylvan Park now, you go, ooh, that means they come from money. No, it don't mean that at all. Back in the day, it was a very, very rough place to grow up, and it was quite an experience. And my father is this amazing storyteller, which you're about to find out about. And he, when I was a kid, his big thing was like at birthdays and weddings and honestly just whatever he could do it because he loves to do it. He would gather up everybody and he would tell a story. And his stories tended to come from his childhood. He was a military kid, grew up in Louisiana, a little bit in London, all over the place. Not in London, in England. And he grew up in these rural environments. He would go out and do this daring do and somehow survive. So he would tell these stories of a rural survivor, and they really fueled my urban survival. Because growing up in that neighborhood, it was survival. It wasn't fun. You know, it was difficult. And there's some people in this room who know what I'm talking about. And so these stories really became like super central to who I am. And what we're about to share with you is like, it's not just poetry, it's not just storytelling, it's deep. All right, and so when I was in graduate school, trying to, being a poet, whatever the hell that means, I was trying to figure out what am I going to write about. I didn't really know. And one day, I stumbled upon. I'd always wanted to write my father's stories, and we in fact had tried. You remember, we sat down and we tried to write them out, and it just didn't work as prose. It just didn't work. And then one day in graduate school, I started to write the first father story poem, which is the title of the book, Ghost Gear. The title poem is Ghost Gear. And it's about my dad when he was, 17, 18?
19.
19. That would be 1966.
1803.
1803. That's actually my joke. He totally just stole my joke from me. So this was 1966.
A bareback.
Ish. Okay. And he was fishing with his father, a commercial fisherman, out on the Aleutian Chain, Alaska. And long story short, he was out there, way out, gathering fish, and this tidal wave came and nearly drowned him, and he survived. And I wrote this poem, and I'll never forget in graduate school, everybody so far had been like, so we let you into this program, and we're kind of wondering why. And they read this poem, and they kind of went, okay, like you've got something here. And I realized I had this idea that I could versify my father's stories. What was special about it for me was it wasn't just, here's my dad doing this, here's my dad doing that. It was a versification of the story and also the story of watching him tell the stories. And so this became the backbone of the book. So there's these 5 father story poems in which I tell the story of watching him tell the story and tell the story of this, right? So about a year ago, this book came out in 2014. About a year ago, I realized, I really want to start recording these more stories. He's got tons. He told me a story today I'd never heard. It wasn't very good, but But I realized I really want to get these down on. I don't really want to write the poems anymore because man, they're hard to write. I got other things to write now, but I really wanted to get them down, and so I started this YouTube playlist called there I was, colon, I think this is right. There I was, colon, my father tells the stories behind Ghost Gear and other tall tales. And so we've got 3 episodes up there now. If you go to my website, andrewmk.com, it's very easy to find. And this is our first live performance of episode 4 of Lost People. So without further ado, I will introduce you to my dad, Dr. Steve McFadyen-Ketchum.
Done this before, so
Well, he's.
hold on to your seats.
Do you have your drink? Where's your drink?
You're gonna get me.
Well, you had a drink, didn't you? Okay, I'm gonna get
not
you a
have
drink.
I need a drink.
I thought you had a drink, so there are a couple of rules. Well, there's really only one rule, and that is that we have to have a drink. Okay. Order.
This is me.
No, that's me. Well, this is you.
This is me.
All right. So
There we
we were.